Alright, what's going on, guys? This is the Jogginator here, and today I got you guys a brand new video. In this video, guys, I'm going to be watching and reacting to some animated horror movies. I watched a few of these earlier, and they're actually pretty scary, so I'm actually scared a little bit. I'm going to turn down the lights down here, so it'll make it a little more scary. And I'm doing this at 3 a.m. Just turned 3:01. I'm doing this at 3 a.m. on Saturday, December 2nd. And I'm going to turn down the lights, and we can get straight into it. Alright, guys, I'm about to start the video. I've got a flashlight over here for a little bit of light. I don't want to be that scared, but we're gonna get into this, and it's probably gonna be scary. Hope you guys I hope you guys aren't as scared as me, but let's get into it.
Me and my wife were on our honeymoon in Hawaii. We were on the island of Oahu, sitting on the beach. My wife got up to go to the bathroom, and when she got back, she told me that there was a
Guys, I'm really not joking. We're like not even a minute into the video and I heard something upstairs. Like, I'm not joking, I swear on my life. I'm actually scared right now.
creepy man watching her walk into the bathroom, and when she tried to walk out, he blocked her path. She only got away because there were two other people walking into the bathroom, so he got out of the way. I asked her what the man looked like, and she looked over, but unfortunately, she said he was gone. Our hotel was walking distance from the beach, so we got back quickly, but we made sure to report the man to a police officer we saw walking on the beach, and then we washed up before going out to eat. We ate at a fancy seafood place and did some walking around afterwards. Close to midnight, we finally went back to the room and began to wind down. Then we got a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole of the door and saw a man in a maid uniform standing outside. I opened the door and he immediately tried to let himself in. I pushed him back a bit, asking him what he wanted. He told me he left something in the room while cleaning earlier and needed to get it out. The only thing, we left a do not disturb sign on the door all day. Then I noticed he was making eye contact with my wife. My wife then screamed, "That's the man." I didn't understand at first, but it was too late for that. The man had already lunged at me, holding my throat with one hand while reaching behind himself with another. He pulled out a knife and started swinging at me, and if it weren't for my wife coming over and smashing his face with the lamp, I would have been as good as dead. The commotion drew out all the inhabitants of the neighboring rooms. One of the women started freaking out and screaming, making the situation worse. We called the police, and so did the hotel. It turned into a huge, horrible scene, but we were just happy to be alive. We were questioned when the police arrived, and some of the other people around us claimed to have witnessed it all. We still don't know what kind of intentions this guy had, but if I had to guess, I would say he wanted to get to my wife.
I keep hearing like stuff upstairs. Like, I'm actually not lying, guys. I'm hearing stuff. I'm just being paranoid, but I'm freaked out.
He must have been one very dumb person to think he would get away with something like this in such a public building.
That one was pretty weird.
I'll never forget this night. The pizza place I worked at was about to close, and I was getting ready to go home when the phone rang. I was working the counter alone that night, so I was taking calls. I picked up the phone. There was complete silence, so I hung up. About a minute later, the phone rings again, so I pick up again. Still silence. I was about to hang up again when I heard the very weak and cold voice of an old woman on the other end. She said she wanted a regular pie delivered. I remained polite on the phone, but on the inside I was screaming. I just wanted to get home and end my shift. I called out to my boss that somebody is requesting a delivery. He told me I had to go. I was upset at first, but I realized it's another tip, and the old ones usually tip the most, so I decided it was okay. I took down the address and told her I would be there soon, but she had already hung up. I thought that was rude, but I ignored it and yelled to the chef that I needed one regular. My boss told me to just go home after the delivery as the place would be closed. So a little before 10 o'clock, I got in my car and put the address into my GPS. The house was 7 miles away. The GPS took me to the quiet side of town. I arrived to the house. It was a small, one-floor house on a very quiet and empty block. I took the pizza and walked up to the door and rang the doorbell. There were no lights on in the house. I hoped that she hadn't given me the wrong address. I rang the doorbell again. There was still no answer. I was about to give up when I turned my head and saw somebody standing at the window. I got a little freaked out and backed up at first, but I eventually got closer to the window to see the person. It was an old woman, probably in her late 70s. She was just staring at me with a blank expression. I yelled to her through the glass that I had her pizza. She didn't react to what I said, so I screamed it louder. A big smile ran across her face. Not a pleasant, genuine smile. It was a smile that sent chills down my spine. I still remember that exact face she made through the window. I decided that I was freaked out enough and got back to my car and set the pizza in the passenger seat. I had to text my boss about this. I shot him a quick text and started my car, ready to get the hell away. I looked to my right to get one more look, to see the woman standing right outside my passenger side window, giving me the same stare she had given me before. I put my car in drive and floored it down the street, not looking back. My boss never made me do a late night delivery again.
That's so freaky. Imagine you're just going to somebody's house to deliver a pizza and they're like freaking you out. Oh, trick or treat.
It was Halloween night of 2007, freshman year in high school, and I was with my friends, Ivan, Ryan, and Jesse. We were all dressed as the Super Mario characters. I was Luigi since I was the second tallest. Ivan was Mario since he's short and buff. Not that Mario was buff. Jesse was Waluigi because he's freakishly tall and skinny, and Ryan was Wario because he's just really fat. So they were the perfect group costumes for us. We live in a very non-congested suburban neighborhood with a decent amount of space.
Guys, I'm not joking. I'm hearing so many sounds upstairs. It's probably because I'm downstairs, but that doesn't help at all. I'm freaked out as it is, and this is not helping whatsoever.
In between houses. On Halloween, that's the worst thing ever. Less bang for your buck. We were trick-or-treating for hours, way past dark, and eventually came the time when most trick-or-treaters were heading home. My feet started to hurt, and I had to constantly switch arms for holding the now 10-pound pillow sack of candy, but we planned on going until our bags were completely full. A lot of the houses by now weren't answering anymore. It was probably past their cutoff time for giving candy to trick-or-treaters. Approaching our next house, we saw a purple bucket on the stoop, which was the best feeling ever. I was the one to get close enough to realize it was empty, which was the worst feeling ever. I turned around when I heard a knock at the window of the house. We all looked at the window. Couldn't see anyone, but heard someone call out, "Wait."
Sound effects make it so much worse.
The door opened, and an older man, late 40s, already balding, stepped outside. He told us to come inside so he can get us some more candy. I said we could just wait out here.
I'll do it.
He responded saying something along the lines of, "Nonsense, come on in, we'll get you your candy." Ivan stepped in and said, "It's alright. Come on, Dan, let's go." I told the guy to take...
We've been over this at school many, many times. Never go inside straight, especially for candy. Are you kidding me? We've been learning about this all our lives. Not to go in like strangers' cars and all that. It's just for candy.
care and apologized. He just stood there watching as we
There's
walked
eyes
off,
behind the dude.
not
Come
saying
on.
anything.
You're
I
that
felt bad,
stupid.
but at the same time, that guy seemed like a
Oh,
creeper,
they
and I
didn't go
figured I
inside
just
them.
dodged a bullet not going in there.
See, that's
If
what
the
you gotta
story
do. You
ended
gotta
there,
ignore
it
it
wouldn't be scary.
and
So of course,
keep
it didn't
going.
end there.
No candy.
We
No
skipped a
strangers,
few
no
of the
candy,
guy's
no
neighboring
nothing. Good
houses
job.
just to get further away, and continued on with our business.
I know why I said that.
We were walking down close to the nature preserve now, so there weren't many houses around us. At this point, we were now walking back closer to Jesse's house. I noticed Ryan had stopped walking, and I turned around to see what's up. He said he heard someone moving from behind the trees in the preserve. Now this was before everyone's phones had flashlights, so we couldn't just go searching in the woods for someone. Besides, we were just telling Ryan that it must have been a raccoon or something. You may think this is a bit of a cliche, but when things like this happen in real life, you always assume the more logical possibility. It's just natural. Why would we assume we were being followed? I had to put my arm around Ryan's shoulder and nudge him forward. A little ways down the street, me and Ivan picked up on the sound as well. When we all stopped, the sounds of the footsteps from beyond the trees stopped as well. Ivan yelled at the obvious stalker to go away, or we would beat the shit out of them. I knew he was just bluffing though. I could hear the nervousness in his voice. The snap of a twig from beyond the trees triggered a fight-or-flight response in all of us. Me, Jesse, and Ryan all ran for it. Ivan was at first charging to attack, but he quickly followed after realizing
If I was in that moment, honestly, God, I would just be just as scared as the pizza delivery thing. I would just run. Like, I don't even know why they keep going or, like, tell them to beat them up or whatever. Like, just go. I don't understand
we
why
had
they
all
gotta sit
taken
there.
off.
Just go.
We ran down the dark
Exactly.
street, and we all noticed the sounds of at least 2 or 3 pairs of footsteps crushing the twigs and leaves in the woods.
Exactly.
We banked it hard right down Jesse Street when it finally came up, and ran straight for his backyard, entering his house through the back door. The first thing we did was peek out through his living room window. We couldn't see anyone. We all had to
Sorry about that.
gather our thoughts and discuss what the hell just went down in his living room, when all of a sudden we heard Jesse's backyard gate slam shut. Jesse dove to turn off the lights. There was a click and a bang from down in the den. It was more than likely Jesse's back door. We all agreed to go down armed with knives and face them. Jesse turned on his back door light, but there was nobody out there. Just then the front door opened, and we all screamed like animals. Jesse's mom and sisters came rushing downstairs. They had just gotten home from their friend's little house party. We all rested assured knowing it was just them. Jesse explained what happened, but made it seem a lot less dramatic. Me and Ivan went home after that and called it a night. At 12:30 a.m., I got a disturbing text message. It was from Jesse. It said, "It wasn't my mom." I texted back saying, "What?" He responded back quickly, saying, "It wasn't my mom in the backyard." My fingers slammed the buttons on my phone, responding back, "What do you mean?" There was a long pause before he finally told me that his mom and sisters said they never went in the backyard. I told him to immediately check the backyard from his upper deck. He had already done just that. He also told his mom everything, and she had already called the police. They didn't find anyone back there, but Jesse did mention the guy who invited us in while trick-or-treating. Nothing ever became of that, and nothing ever happened at Jesse's house again after that one Halloween night.
I'm gonna end it on that one, guys, but that was weird. That was scary. I don't know if you guys are like as scared as me. Like, I'm in this mood. This is dark. I got like a flashlight. I'm scared. Like, I don't know if you guys are in the mood I am right now, but I was honestly got freaked out. But yeah, that last one was pretty creepy. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys weren't as scared as me, because I was honestly, I'm like shaking. I'm freaking out right now. I'm gonna turn the lights on right when I'm done with this. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Like, subscribe, comment down below what I should do next. Thanks for watching, and peace out.